Welcome to My Trialist Trial Talk, Voices of Experience.
The challenge for me during that time was that I had decided that I somehow reason decided that I had to be part of this, that I really wanted to be this clinical trial. And that was anxiety provoking to imagine that I might not qualify for some reason that had nothing to do, like there was no practicing, there was no studying, there was just, it was, the qualifications had to do with my medical situation. And whether my lungs were strong enough, whether my heart was strong enough, and I don't even remember all what, but it was all things that were completely out of my control, the way so much is. And that was the trickiest part for me in terms of qualifying for this clinical trial.
It took a while, maybe a week or two, for the insurance to approve the clinical trial. So I had to go through that, but then later on, maybe a week later, the insurance was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and approve it for that. And so once the approval came, I had to go do some paperwork. And the paperwork was just, I had to go through with Grace, and I did it from my phone. And she said that you read all the different kind of side effects, how it affects your body and stuff like that. And then once I did the paperwork, they went on ahead and made their first appointment for me to go to the different clinics. Clinical trial, I think my first biopsy was when they went in my chest in this area. They was like, we just need this, because I think you can opt out of it, but it's my first time in the trial. I told her, okay, I'll go ahead and go through that biopsy, and I had to have one in the chest, and I have a second bone marrow biopsy. They had to go in the same, maybe another spot, but in the same area. And I had to go through, do like some stuff with my heart, EKG, pulmonary, like the breathing in and out the tube. So they had to get all this stuff because they want to make sure my heart was strong enough for me to start the clinical trial.
I actually met with a counselor, a genomic counselor. He sat down and broke everything down for me. I was, I have a BRCA2 gene mutation, which is very prevalent in like breast cancer, for example, but it's also prevalent in men with prostate cancer. And I also have a CHEK2 gene mutation, which, each of those in and of themselves give me a great increased risk of cancer. So here we are. With that information, we were able to then look for a clinical trial to match that information.